whenever we do it, we do it.
Okay. It's been a busy week.
I wasn't sitting by the phone when it's David calling.
Stop by.
Chuck, can you hear this? 1, 2, 1, 2.
Test, 1, 2. Is this on? Joey? Joey? It says social hall? Joey? Can you hear this? No. Test, 1, 2. Test. Test. Okay. Test. Test, test, test.
Good Shabbos, everyone. May I have your attention, please? Would everybody take their seats? We'll be starting in a few minutes. Good Shabbos, everyone. And please turn off your cell phones or put them on vibrate. Shabbat Shalom.
Dynamics is the word tonight.
Be dynamic, is that what you mean?
Dynamic.
Be proud. You know what? I would go with purple.
You can even sit up here on one of those chairs if you want. Yeah. Whatever you would like. Just make yourself comfy.
These mics are really sensitive to you.
Yeah, they are. Let's see, let me sit here with you.
Keyboard section. The two keyboard.
But they still. There you go.
Good Shabbos, everyone. There are moments that seem like we are always looking forward to them. And there are moments that seem like we have celebrated again and again. And paradoxically, this is one of them. From the moment that we engaged Cantor Hutchings as our cantor, it seems like she's always been here. It seems like, wow, she's always been a part of our congregation. Not just because she grew up here, but that there's just such a wonderful fit. And so to have an installation 8 months later, it's like, we've welcomed you. You're part of our hearts always. We never can remember a time when you are not part of who we are. But at the same time, we know again and again that this moment was going to come and be a very important part of her life. The 17th anniversary of her bat mitzvah, her 30th birthday, today, which is why we chose this weekend. And in return, you who gather here are her gift, and she is ours. We welcome some very special people in our congregation who have joined us this evening to make her installation a deeply personal one. Her family members, her mother, Elaine, her dad, Jeff Gross, her sister, Allie Gross, and her colleagues who will be part of the service and who are described in this brochure. We welcome Rabbi Mintz, who's part of our home community, Rabbi Steve Einstein, and Rabbi Shai Silver, and Cantors Perrine Anker, Cantor Nathan Lamb, and Cantor Stephen Richards. If you are known by the company that you keep, our cantor is certainly very well known, respected. Despite her youth, she has developed relationships that are deep and profound with cantors and colleagues who are among the Gedolim of our movement, and we are so proud to have them with us tonight. We are going to have a few songs that we want to encourage your participation, and they are in the back of the brochure, so make sure you go through. Don't read the bios. If you haven't read them, wait till after services. But the songs, especially this opening song that will occur, and a couple others are featured near the back of the brochure. And so without further ado, I turn it over to Cantor Hutchings.
Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you.
5, 6, and 7.
Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you.
9 through 13.
Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for.
If you've been a member for over 10 years, please stand and join us.
Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you.
If you've only been a member between less than 1 year and 3 years, please join us.
To be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you.
Let's try the Hebrew verse.
Peacefully shall our
just getting warmed up. Candle lightings. So tomorrow we have a wonderful bat mitzvah, and we're so grateful to have her on the bima. Please, our bat mitzvah. Sarah, we'd like to invite her, her grandmother Myra, her sister Samantha, her mom Mary to come up for the mitzvah of kindling the Shabbat lights, as well as the Cantor's mother Elaine and her sister Allie Gross, if you would come forward. And what else do we have? Just check. Who's gonna do it? Oh, and we invite Davia. Very good. Davi's sharing a special melody of Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem Shalom, Malachei Hasharei, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, 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 Baruch Hu, Baruch Hu. Boachem Lishalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, 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 Baruch Hu, Baruch Hu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, melech haolam, asher kishanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu להדליק נר של שבת. חרבוני לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי, מלאכי אלוהים, ממלך, מלאכי המלאכים, הקדוש, 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 ברוך הוא, ברוך הוא. צאתכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי, מלאכי אלוהים, ממלך, ממלך, מלאכי המלאכים, הקדוש, הקדוש,
continue with the Kiddush and Motzi, we'd like to call upon Jeff and Susie Gross, the Cantor Search Committee, to whom we owe a great debt of gratitude, Del Acosta, Lori Frankel, Jack Katz, Michael Mayer, Maxine Malinsky, Glory Rosenberger, Ira and Nan Spector. They all did such a great job. We're indebted to them. And we also like to invite the Cantor's husband, Jeremy, to come up as well for Kiddush and Motzi.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Please turn to page 138 for the Chadodi.
Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad ishmiranu el hamyuchad
144.
Yikara v'yikarash shemei rabba v'yamandi v'rakirte v'yamich malchute b'chayechon uvyomechon uvayedekol beit Yisrael bagala bagala uvizman kariv v'meru amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevorach Le'olam Olmei Omaya Yitbarak Yitbarak V'yishtabak V'yitfa'ar V'yitroman V'yitnaseh V'yitadar V'yitalei V'yitalal Shemei Dekudesha Brechu Le'elon min kol berchata v'shirata tushpecha tavane emata damin ran bi'amal b'imeru amen.
Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared?
We continue on 149. Together, praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and seasons glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars, creator of the tide of time and light. You guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows.
Umavir yom umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uvein laila, Adonai tzavot shemo, el chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed, baruch atah Adonai, ha'ma'ariv aravim.
151. Together, wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol, all these things your Torah gives to us, and the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form?
Be'avatecha, al tasir mimenu leolamim, Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malechuto, Leolam Vaed. Please turn to page 154. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levacha uvechol nafshecha uvechol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochim b'tzavecha hayom halevavecha ve'shinantam levanecha v'divartam bam ve'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlevtecha b'derech uvshachbecha uvkumecha shartam leot al yadecha ve'hayu letotafot b'neinecha uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kedoshim le'lohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeti echem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'elohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem Amen.
157. We read responsively. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way.
Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces.
Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed.
Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing
Umalchuto beratzon kibelu alehem, Moshe Miriam uvnei Yisrael lechanu shira, v'simcha rabba v'amru chulam.
Our
right, I heard you know what to do for this song. Okay.
From Salenu
Please turn to page 162.
So the Cantor and I share someone in common very special. Way back when we began seminary, I developed a wonderful relationship with a dear colleague, Shai Steve Silver, who was her rabbi in Redondo Beach. And so he had the joy of working and mentoring our Cantor, and I had the joy of taking all of his hard work and saying, come on over here to Las Vegas. That's what friends are for, right?
You have a good eye. I did notice, Jessica, that as I came up on the bima, you left.
I know it's good for me.
Yes, but you don't know what's coming. Well, first of all, I am so thrilled to be here with my friend and colleague, Sandy Sholem and Joni, and all of you, and many, many members of the Redondo Beach congregation of our Temple Menorah, right? So here, I need to tell you a story. Jessica, of course, does not need to hear this story since she is a part of this story. No, you stay right over here. One of the most favorite part of my job is to comfort the afflicted and afflict the comfortable. For once, I get to do the talking and she has to listen. And I can tell you, she has never, ever, unlike Rabbi Einstein, she has never invited me to sing with her. But she tolerated me singing next to her, right? So about 6 years ago, a very good friend of mine, Cantor Schwartz, Richard Schwartz. Oh, you are? Well, you didn't tell me what the script was. Normally I do whatever she says. And that's worked out very well for us. My dear friend Richard Schwartz was my first chazan at Temple Menorah about 28 years ago. I ran into him at the University of Judaism, and he said, Shai, I just met this young woman, and you will not believe this person. She will be a superstar. And he said, I don't know if you need a cantor, but you must meet her. Well, it turned out that I was in the market. And I don't mean the supermarket. And we got together, we had a drink at a hotel, and she was a very... I'm from Redondo Beach, you're from Las Vegas, you have dirty minds. Oy vey, it's Shabbos. Is this a shul or a lounge? Thank you very much, Shecky. And she was a very, very nervous young woman. But she was very certain of herself. And I could see that in her was the soul of an artist. And I knew immediately that Cantor Schwartz was right on target. And for us, and for this last, 4 or 5 years, I kind of stretched it out a little bit, we've had an incredible ride together. We have both grown. Jessica has been my teacher, as she will now be yours. And we hope that some of the spirit, some of the ruach of Temple Menorah, I heard tonight. And I heard you respond so warmly to that ruach. So one last thing. My job, as Rabbi told you, was not just to speak to Jessica, but to introduce the Amida. And you know that in the Amida there is a good deal of repetition. The Amida goes this way, as you already know. Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov. And now we add our mothers as well, of course. Elohei Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, and Leah. And the Midrash asks, why is it necessary to repeat the phrase Elohei? Why the triplicate? Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov. And they say it's very simple. Because in each generation, we are encouraged to create our own belief, our own way of approaching the divine. And as revered as Avraham is, Yitzhak must have his own concept of the divine. And as revered as Yitzhak is, Rivka and Leah must have their vision of the Adonai. You now have for yourselves a partner for Rabbi and an exemplar for Israel. And just as she is going to be your teacher, we, these beautiful, these incredibly talented cantors and rabbis who are here, we were for you, your mentors. And you will see into a generation, young cantor, who's now all of 30 years old. You will see a world that we will never know. And you will be for us our representative, a shlicha hatzibur, a representative of this community, a representative of Israel, a teacher of our children, a singer of sweet songs in Israel.
You know, Shai, maybe we should switch pulpits. You could do the lounge bit. Instead of Shai, we'll be Shecky. You're right. 164, we rise for the tefillah.
Na Hagin. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Abraham Mitzrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mekayeh Hakol, Atah Ra Lehoshia.
Mashiv haruach umorid hagashem.
Mekayeh Hayim Bechesed, Mekayeh Hakol, Merachamim Ramim. So Mek Noflim Verofet Olim,
Umatir Asurim.
Umekayeh Elunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Be'al Kivurot,
Umidom Elah.
Melech Mimit, Umekayeh, Umatzliach Yeshua, Bene'eman Atah Lechayot Hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekayeh Hakol.
Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. We continue in silent prayer at our own pace. We turn to page 174. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu be'amecha Yisrael u'tefilatam be'ahava tekabel.
Utehi leratzon, tamid avodat Yisrael.
Yisrael Amecha. Karov echol, kore'av pnei el avadecha, v'chonenu
176 is a prayer that comes at the end of the Amidah. It is a prayer called Modim Anachnu Lach, a prayer of gratitude and thanksgiving.
Modim anachnu lach she'atahu Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'imotenu leolam va'ed. Modim anachnu lach tzor chayenu Atahu ledor vador. Modim anachnu lach leolam va'ed. For the sun that rises in the east, for the seas that roar a prayer, for stillness of the snowfall, for a breath of autumn air, for the grasp within my fingers, for a mind that makes me whole, for the voice that God has given me to speak the truth within my soul. Modim anachnu lach, Modim anachnu lach, Modim anachnu lach leolam va'ed. Ve'al 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 nisecha shebechol yom imanu, shebechol yom imanu. Ve'al ve'al niflaotecha v'tovotecha erev avoker v'tzoraim. For the laughter of the children, for the way they greet the day, with their endless stream of questions, they remind us how to play. And for the ones we call beloved, who take away our fear, they tell us without saying it, remember I am here. Remember I am here.
In this crazy world of ours, we have much to give thanks for, but there's certainly one thing that we all pray for, and that is for peace. So we offer now a special prayer for peace. Sim Shalom.
Sim Shalom, Tova uvracha ba'olam. Chen v'chesed v'rachamim aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael amecha.
שים, שים, שים שלום, טובה וברכה בעולם. שים, שים, שים שלום, טובה וברכה בעולם. חן וחסד ורחמים, חן וחסד ורחמים, עלינו ועל כל ישראל. עמך. שים, שים, שים שלום, טובה וברכה בעולם. ברכנו אבינו כולנו כאחד, באור פניך.
צדקה וברכה ורחמים וחיים ושלום ושלום.
שים, שים, שים שלום, טובה וברכה בעולם. שים, שים, שים שלום, טובה וברכה בעולם. חן וחסד ורחמים, חן וחסד ורחמים, עלינו ועל כל ישראל. עמך. שים, שים, שים שלום, טובה וברכה בעולם. ברכנו אבינו כולנו כאחד, באור פניך.
וטוב בעיניך לברך, לברך את עמך ישראל, בכל עת ובכל שעה, ובכל שעה בשלומך.
וטוב בעיניך לברך, לברך את עמך ישראל, בכל עת ובכל שעה, ובכל שעה בשלומך.
ברוך אתה אדוני
המברך,
המברך את עמו ישראל בשלום.
So one of the things that our Cantor brought with her was a special program called Beatles Shabbat. In fact, that's when we first became enamored with her. So she added a little something new this year, the Misha Berach. She decided to rewrite the lyrics in the theme of the Beatles. But it became so popular that it has, well, legs of its own. And our Kochavim, our youth choir, are going to sing it. And I know it's a little late to say this, and it's a weird place to say it, but instead of clapping, because it's a service, maybe, what's the new way of doing? Kind of rubbing your hands or like this, all right? Do these thingies, and we'll try to maintain the integrity of the service. So let's take a moment, if you would. If you could, think of someone special in your circle of family and in love that you care for very much who needs a Misha Berach, and simply now stand and say their names, as many names as you would like. And now we, as a congregation, we rise to join them in solidarity as we imagine a world without hunger, without hate, without illness, a world filled with love, of harmony, and peace. Imagine this Misha Berach.
Kadosh Baruch Hu, Refuah Shlema min Hashamayim, Refuat HaNefesh, Refuat HaGuf,
Shalom. My job this evening was to give the charge. So we could go, charge! And you plan things out, and you plan words to be said at this moment, which are to be inspiring, to give kavod, to speak on behalf of your mentors, to speak about all of those who came before you who had the title of Shatz, of Shliach Tzibur, of Chazan. And then, when you just thought before the service, these are going to be the most perfect words, a rabbi comes up and does 10 minutes of stand-up which blows you away. Why should I even come up? But the fact is what you just saw. Children, I want all the children who just participated in this Misha Ber, please raise your hand for a second so I can see you. Every one of you, at this very moment, is a moment in your life you're never going to forget. And everyone who was here this evening and saw, because the healing process for us to go out into the world and heal and to make the world a better place, we just saw come from these children. And what you did by changing the words around and making it for us today. So the words, I believe in Beshert. You know what the word Beshert means? Beshert means supposed to be. So I chose some words for Jessica. Everybody gets a nickname by me. She's Jessica. She's not a Noaka, she's a Jessica. She does everything positively. Here are the words from the Yotzrot section, the Yotzer section of the Shachrit service. Vechulam potchim et pihem b'kedusha v'tara b'shira u'zimra. And I'll translate for you. This is the angels talking one to the other. Can you imagine right now what you just saw was angelic. What you just saw was kedusha. Vechulam potchim et pihem. They opened their mouths in holiness and in purity, with song and psalms, and bless and praise, glorify, revere, sanctify, and declare the sovereignty of the name of the great and mighty God. You've been here a short time. And look at the Kedusha that you brought to this evening. And that's your job. So when you say, Hineni he'oni mimas, on the high holy days, and you say, here I stand humbled and in fear, because my job is to represent you. You represent them. You're not in charge of their averot, of their sins, and they're not in charge of yours, but it's your job to inspire them to go to the next level, to find a place of inspiration. That's the job of the Shliach Tzibur. Shliach Tzibur in Hebrew means a messenger of the congregation. Shortened, Shatz. If your name is Shatz, it means somebody in your family was a Shliach Tzibur. And the other word we use is Chazan. And the word Chazan is a perfect word for you, Jessica. A visionary. It comes to the word Chazon, to see. Actually, in ancient days, the word Chazan was the word for a beetle. No pun intended with with, a beetle, which means when temples began to form, synagogues began to form around the 3rd century before the Common Era. There were no rabbis yet. So they had a chazan, a beadle. And that person went to the synagogue. They read Torah Monday, Thursday, and Shabbat, and services began. And when the temple's destroyed in the year 70, that takes over the Jewish world. And the chazan, the beadle, a shamus, on steroids I might add, but a shamus nonetheless. Very smart people here live in Las Vegas. Wow, I tell you. And that's our calling. So a charge, I don't know if it's a charge, it's just having you accept your calling. Accept what I believe that the Creator, the Almighty, God, has called upon you to do. Because of all the things that I can say about you, is that you have a neshama gedolah. You have a big, big neshama. You have a great neshama. And on the soul, and on Shabbat, when we get a neshama yetera, when we get an added soul, she brings to you the ability, the possibility for you to find your extra soul on Shabbat. And for me, and I know for my wife and the friends I'm with here tonight, you have brought us our neshama yetera. And so what we're going to do is we're going to have some people in your life. I have their names here. There's 700 of them, but Rabbi Axelrod, Rabbi Mintz, Rabbi Einstein, Rabbi Silver, Cantor Richards, Cantor Perrine Anchor, myself. We're going to come here and we're going to pass the Torah to you. And the mantle of the Torah just represents that in every generation, it's commanded to us that we have to write our own Torah. And so whether it was Yosela Rosenblatt or Batsheva or whoever it was, or the first woman Cantor, who's represented here this evening by Perrine Anchor, you are getting that, and on your shoulders, others will stand, and you see them out there. And we are totally confident, totally assured that what was our past, what was given to us, will be given to them in a way that they can understand. So with love, with respect, as a colleague, that's the charge. As a colleague, that's what you are, the installation. I always like to joke to my colleagues at Stephen Wise. They say, we're having an installation this evening. And we are installing you by saying, you are a light. You are a light for us, a big light. Please rise.
We thought Cantor Lamb had it hard. I'm the one who has to speak after Cantor Lamb. One of the things that Cantor Lamb just said was to point to the children and your impact on each one of them. So I'd like to hope, in some small way, going back 17 years to your bat mitzvah, when we stood next to each other, that there was a spark that was lit at that moment, that each one of your mentors here helped to make a little bit hotter, a little bit more flamey, a little bit more filled with light, and that each one of us will give that sense of light to you. And so I have this Torah, and you said, are you going to say that Torah thing? So I'll say that Torah thing. I remind all of the students who stand at their bat mitzvah that the Torah that I hold is some 450 years old. And I ask them if they would to remember what the world was like 400 or 500 years ago, and that think for a moment not just what the world was like, but all the people who have touched this Torah and became a part of this Torah over the last 450 years. It made its way through Europe, it survived the Holocaust, and who would have ever thunk 450 years ago it would make its way in the desert in Las Vegas, Nevada? Written at a time where there was no such thing as women cantors or women rabbis. We were only an idea. And so this Torah represents a sense of tradition, but as you will hold it in just a moment, it also represents our future. I look out at this congregation, and I hope for you, as it is for me, what we call affectionately our mind meld moment, because I have dreamed that our congregation could come together like this in faith and in song, in participation, young and old, all the generations, and you have brought us together. And for that, I am eternally grateful. May you find in yourself your own sense of self. For everyone here who has given you a gift of their knowledge and wisdom, internalize it and make it your own. For what you have is sacred and holy, and we're blessed to share it with you.
Jessica, I thank God that my life had the opportunity to touch yours and yours, mine. I look around this congregation and I see it's many congregations. I see Congregation Pnei Tikva that you blessed with your presence for 4 years. I see congregations from all the way from California. I see that you have taken the tradition and you have made it yours. May you take the inspiration that you have found and inspire countless more. May you continue to touch lives. And may we all say, Amen.
Our lives touched when you were an opera student. But there was this other spark there, nurtured from her days here in this congregation. And I watched how you interacted with the children. And I encouraged you. And then we had the wonderful opportunity to spend months on the Bima together, and you could get a sense of what it would be like to really do this. And you met this fella. You know, leadership in the congregation is not a solo occupation. And how fortunate you are to have found Jeremy. And I was part of that too, as his teacher. I had the privilege of standing under the chuppah with you. And even tonight, as I watched how you interact with people of all ages, as I have through the years, I kept my eye on Jeremy to see how he, too, has grown. Together, may you bring great blessing to this congregation, to this Jewish community, and to the world.
I want to bring to your attention that there is a paradox with this Torah. The rabbis call it white fire and black fire, the letters written on the white flame of God's revelation. As that Torah raises us up, we're reminded that this Torah is also simply leather and wood and soot. The ink is made from soot. It is made from the ground, from the earth, from the most basic parts of this world. And that's the paradox. The more we are grounded, the more we are elevated. Torat Adonai Tamima. This Torah of God is perfect. It enlightens the eyes and enlarges the soul. Make its words sing.
In my life, I have been blessed by wonderful teachers. Teachers of music, teachers of voice, teachers of chazanut. And when I met Jessica, I decided this is my time to pay it forward. And we had some wonderful times learning together. And Jessica, tonight I charge you, pay it forward. Use that wonderful mind, that wonderful talent. Find somebody to mentor, because it will really feel wonderful, as it does for me.
Dear Jessica, I wrote my words to you because we both cry. So these are words that when I think of you, they just came to me. They are you, and they live in you. Torah, song, exploration, humor, balance, beauty, growth, family, gratitude, humility, and most of all, dear Jessica, love.
I'm passing this Torah to you. You accept the charge and the responsibilities that we've enumerated today upon yourself.
I do.
So it is my zchut, my privilege, to give you this Torah and to ask you to step over here for a second and all of us to move forward. This blessing, Jessica, is a blessing that has 15 words in it. And the Birkat Kohanim is one of the most ancient blessings, certainly the blessing that is translated into more languages than any other blessing. 15 words, 3, 5, and 7. And 15 is the numerical equivalent to Yah, to God's name. And this blessing says to you all the hopes and dreams that we have for you to fulfill your own destiny. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May God look kindly upon you and be gracious unto you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. Shalom. May God show his face upon you, be gracious unto you, and grant you the word shalom, of peace, the word shalem, of fulfillment. V'yasem lecha shalom. Shalom.
time my grandma sees me, she says, "Have you called God lately?" She's convinced that I can pick up the phone and have God's direct line on speed dial. It took me a long time to understand why she approached me with this question. After I began to do this work and saw the impact I was able to make on people around me, I got it. My voice is my direct line. I'm reminded of the commercial of the grandma-like woman who puts a hammer to candy and thinks she's playing Candy Crush, and then posts stickies to the wall of her home and thinks that's what posting to your wall is. My grandma, that adorable little lady, really believes to the depths of her soul that my iPhone has God in the contacts. And the truth of the matter is, I can't make magic happen. I can't cure disease or perform miracles by calling the big guy on speed dial. There is potential, however, to use my gift to make a difference. There is a reality that my voice and the soul behind it can reach the high heavens in some shape or form. As cliche as it may sound, my grandma tapped into what you might call my calling. Each and every time I step out onto this bema and open my mouth to sing, my heart opens too, as does my soul. It's as if stepping on this bema plugs me into an outlet that connects my soul to something I can't even articulate into words. It's as if I stepped outside of myself and through the beauty of music provide a connection that is beyond myself. When I look out into this congregation and I see a tear, a closed eye, or a smile, I know that we've reached that special synergy. When I teach a child and they come back to me excited about Judaism, passion and purpose is renewed. When I stand at the bedside of someone who is about to transition from this life to the next and begin to quietly sing, the world comes full circle. I guess you could say that these experiences were part of me finding my voice. I had found my purpose, but what does that even mean, to find your voice? Finding one's voice dates all the way back to the beginning of the Torah, where in verse 3 it's written, God said. In verses 1 and 2, there is chaos, an attempt to give it order. But in verse 3, when God says, there is order, there is purpose, and there is potential and wonder. Since we are all created B'Tselem Elohim, in God's image, we all have the power to create humanity. We all have the potential to discover our voice. It isn't quite as majestic and simple as God having the power to create humanity and the universe with his voice. But if we search deep enough, we can find our voices too. And with those voices, we have the potential to make a difference. It is quite extraordinary that the journey to my cantorate began in part with these very Sifrei Torah, with this rabbi, and with this congregation. It paved the way for me to take my journey to the cantorate, though I did not know it yet. There were many moments that hinted that my path in life should be serving God with my song. But it wasn't till I shared the bema with Rabbi Einstein at Congregation B'nai Tzedek in Fountain Valley in the summer of 2006 that I knew I was supposed to be a cantor. Rabbi Einstein and his daughter, Rabbi Rebecca Shore, took a real chance on me. I was only 20 years old. I had no experience on the bema other than leading high holiday services, the teen high holiday services at CNT. They must have seen something in me when they passed by my post-B'nai Mitzvah class that I had been teaching for them. They called me into Rabbi Einstein's office and asked me to fill in for Rabbi Shore when she went on maternity leave. Although she was the assistant rabbi, she had a lovely trained voice and served the cantorial role for the synagogue. I immediately said yes, and the next 3 months I was given enough freedom to spread my wings and enough guidance to show me the way. Singing with Rabbi Einstein created a spark of holiness in my life that I had never felt before. I was hooked, and during my first day of opera coaching back at the fall semester, I told Dr. Anglin, my opera coach, I was going to check out cantorial school. And he wasn't so surprised. He said, when you sing in Hebrew, something magical happens, and I can't coach you to recreate that in German, Italian, or French. I knew you'd be a cantor, and this was news to me. But I took it as a compliment, and it boosted my confidence and ambitions even more. Attending the Academy for Jewish Religion in California was the best decision I could have made. It wouldn't uproot Jeremy and I from Southern California to Israel and then New York, and I could train with the finest cantors in the world and learn from some of the greatest Jewish scholars living today. AJRCA's structure allowed me to create my own future. I decided to get my master's in Jewish education and explored many different avenues in Judaism. It was there that I truly uncovered my potential. I blossomed from a young singer to a proud cantor. Cantor Nate Lamb and Cantor Perrine Anker were both a major part of my journey. They continuously encouraged me to keep pushing ahead so that I could become the cantor that they envisioned for the future. They gave me lasting advice and strength when it all seemed so overwhelming. Cantor Lamb taught me the lessons of his great teachers and the beauty of the Jewish modes and nusach. He encouraged me to work to my full potential and come back every class proficient in the previous week's assignment. Cantor Anker encouraged me to sing from my soul, stop modifying my O's to A's, and stand up for myself when I was feeling down. I am so grateful for my experience at AJR. My deans are the best cantorial deans in the world. And if it wasn't for AJR, I wouldn't have met my amazing friend Lizzie, who you heard tonight, who is going to be a heck of a cantor herself. One of my classmates, Dr. Cantor Jonathan Friedman, knew I had family in Las Vegas, so he referred me to my first student pulpit with Rabbi Mintz. The first few services were scary, and my first high holidays was nothing short of a terrifying mess. But Rabbi Mintz must have seen the spark, because she kept me as her student cantor for 4 years. I learned so much from Rabbi Mintz and her infinite wisdom. She created a space where Jeremy could grow into his newfound Judaism, and I could bring in Shabbat every other week with my mom and my grandparents. I can't thank her enough because since I left Pnei Tikva, I have not had the opportunity to spend another Shabbat with my grandparents. And without that opportunity, my grandpa would have never seen me become a cantor. I am thankful to a man named Cantor Richard Schwartz, Rabbi Stephen Silver's first cantor, who I met while studying for my master's in education at AJU. Although he had never heard me sing yet and only knew me by my character, he called Rabbi Silver, or as we heard, met Rabbi Silver, who happened to be the rabbi at a nearby shul to my home, and told him, "Have you heard of a young woman named Jessica Hutchings? She's a future rock star cantor. You should hire her." At least that's the way I remember the story. I wasn't even looking for a new pulpit. I was happily making the twice-monthly commute to Las Vegas and working as the youth director for a CTJ conservative synagogue in Manhattan Beach. Nonetheless, I received a call from Rabbi Silver wanting to meet me. A few interviews later, I began my new student pulpit right in the city I lived in at a Reform synagogue called Temple Menorah. It was the hardest I had ever worked and the most fruitful experience I will ever have. Rabbi Silver, although he probably won't admit it, wanted me to be the female version of his childhood cantor, Cantor Modell. I certainly couldn't match his high regard for Modell, but I worked really hard to prove that I would represent a new cantorate that he would be proud of. I cherish the time that I worked with Rabbi Silver and the father-daughter relationship that we have. There were many incredible moments on the bima with Rabbi Silver, but the most influential and life-changing was the one where Cantor Stephen Richards walked into our shul. Just before beginning our service on Shabbat, a striking couple walked into the sanctuary, through the sanctuary doors, and Rabbi Silver leaned over to me and said, "Do you know who that is? It's Cantor Stephen Richards." And I said, "Like the Ritzay Cantor Stephen Richards?" "Whoa." "What's he doing here?" And Rabbi Silver said, "Oh, you didn't know? He lives in the South Bay." Cantor Richards invited me to coach with him at his home. And for over 2 years, he gave me his time and his skill. He coached me on the intricacies of beautiful Jewish music. I learned how to emote every single note and how to organically access my voice from a place deep within. I absolutely loved every moment working with this brilliant cantor. And as you've learned, our guests are not simply fellow cantors and rabbis. They are scholars, builders, founders, leaders, and protectors of our cherished music. Along with Rabbi Axelrod, they are my mentors, my colleagues, and my friends. I would not be standing here today without their guidance, compassion, support, and vision for me. How can I ever thank you all enough? And it feels like I'm accepting an Academy Award tonight, or perhaps a Grammy. And everyone knows that you better not forget to thank your mom and your husband. But really, honestly, none of this, I can't cry or else it won't work for the end of what I have to say. None of this would be possible without the support of my beautiful, giving, loving mom, who taught me how to be an independent woman and take charge of my life and create my own destiny. And thanks to Harv for supporting my mom, who keeps on dreaming and evolving her ideal life. My dad, who taught me how to be responsible for myself and to work for the reward. And my stepmom, Susie, who supported my dad in parenting me when we came to visit every month, from preteen until I went to college. She must be a saint. And my little sister, who was once the bane of my existence, is now my best friend. She showed me the beauty of wanderlust, living life to the fullest, and not taking a single day for granted. And unlike my bat mitzvah, I'm making it through this part of the speech without crying. And of course, how can I not thank the pillar of it all, the greatest person that there is in my life today, my husband, Jeremy. So you might be curious as to what I'm going to do with all of this inspiration that has been bestowed upon me by these amazing individuals in my life. Every single day, I wonder if I can satisfy their hopes and dreams for me, if I'm good enough to do this holy work. Every day, I get out of bed and set out on a mission to be the kind of chazan that I would want to have. Every day, I work to turn my ambitions for the Jewish community into reality for each and every one of you. Not only do I want to be the person that you call on when you need to be spiritually uplifted by prayer song, but also I want to be your teacher, your children's teacher, your grandchildren's teacher. Your spiritual guide, an ear to bend, a friend to make lasting bonds with, a carrier of our holy faith who you can count on. And I look forward to the future here at Congregation Ner Tamid. Thanks to CNT, I have found a place to blossom and make a difference. I see a future filled with strong community, lasting bonds, meaningful Jewish education, constant tikkun olam, creative prayer, and inspiring, invigorating, engaging prayer song. When I see my B'nai Mitzvah students holding the very Torah that I held at my bat mitzvah, it brings me back to the moment where my Jewish purpose was first established, here at CNT. To see their strengths and struggles, hear their deepest thoughts, greatest fears, and personal triumphs, remind me that the life path that I've chosen has little to do with my song and much to do with my character. When I grew up at CNT, other than my teachers, the director of education, Jackie, Bella, the cantorial soloist, and Rabbi A, I didn't know the staff and what took place behind the scenes that made a synagogue run. But today, I am privileged to work with that staff. They are a small, vibrant army who make this place run like a well-oiled machine. Linda, Sandy, Judy, Joyce, Sandy, Hester, Renee, Carolyn, Lynette, Roberta, Beth, Lonnie, Beth, Ellen, Lee, Brian, Wyatt, Melissa, our teachers, our president Jackie and vice president Mindy, all of our lay leaders, board, volunteers, the cantorial search committee, of course, and Debbie, our amazing clergy assistant, who gives Rabbi and I the ability to serve this community fervently. They are a wonderful team, and they make me love walking into work every day. Standing on this bima, looking at each one of you, I feel pride. I see hope in the Jewish future. I know I am right where I am supposed to be. And next time I see my grandma, I know what she will ask. Have you called God today? What did he say? Well, Grandma, God actually called me. We talk all the time. And God continues to remind me why I'm here. Shabbat Shalom.
At least I don't have to stand on a stool like the bar mitzvah kids do. That's really embarrassing. Lizzie is going to sing a beautiful song for you, Eshet Chayil. So Jessica, Eshet Chayil. Stand here. A woman of valor. The Hebrew word for valor is chayal, which also means soldier. As cantors, we dedicate our lives as guardians to protect and defend that which is most precious to us, our families and our tradition. One modern interpretation of this proverb is that the woman is a tiger mom. We at HARCA have had the pleasure of watching you grow into the role of cantor. With each year, your resolve grew more intense and your commitment reached out to others. When you have a vision, there is no stopping you. As the proverb says, Eshet Chayil, her candle burns on into the night. Her husband blesses her. Well, Jessica, you and Jeremy are partners with your candle in creating your home. To be an Eshet Chayil as a cantor, you must learn to know when it's possible to burn your candle into the night for the sake of others, but always to save enough of the flame to light the way for the sake of your family and for your own well-being. Your cantorate is built upon the wisdom of your teachers and those who came before you. Your own particular light strengthens that flame. The ancient words of Eshet Chayil do not describe today's woman. The image of cooking and cleaning has expanded into the consummate woman, wise, loyal, and inspiring. Jessica, the tensions of being all things to all people, especially to your family and your congregants, even in the age of gender equality, reminds us, Jessica, that the emotional burden of a family rests heaviest upon us, upon the women. So take time to constantly look into yourself for answers you need and for those things yet to be revealed. I love you.
Eshet Chayil mimsa, mimsa, verachok mipninim, verachok mipninim, michra. Verachok
know it's going a bit long tonight, but I had 7 people install me, so that's kind of why. Usually it's 1.
And you can't leave the mom out. So Rabbi only gave me 3 minutes to speak. 30 seconds. Okay, so then that means I can't talk about how you refuse to be potty trained. Well, until we bought the pink toilet. Or how demanding you were about always being on time. Or how you totaled your car because you were on the phone with me and while you were driving and you had to go to your boyfriend's house and I didn't want you to and you just kept on driving and the car got totaled. Oh, and it was brand new, by the way. But your dad and I wondered, how would you get by as an adult when you just wouldn't take no for an answer? Well, now we get it. You always knew what you wanted and you didn't stop until you got it. We have come to admire those qualities in you. People ask me if I'm proud of you. Proud? Yes, but so much more than that. You followed your dream and you just went for it. You worked so very hard for years, being a full-time student while having several jobs, and at the same time you became a wife on top of that. You are an inspiration to me and to so many people around you. Proud just doesn't even reach the level of what I feel. When you had your bat mitzvah here at CNT, we never imagined this would be the place that you would return for your career. And at that time, we didn't even imagine you would go on to become a cantor. It is more than wonderful that for you to be here at CNT, and it is our family's home away from home, our place to belong. You'll always be my little girl, my Jessica. But you have become an amazing woman, a cantor who inspires people through spirit and through prayer and song. And I'm so in awe of you.
Many emotions, many feelings, all wonderful. We thank all the wonderful people who did come out from Los Angeles, from many different communities to make this celebration installation so beautiful. As our service nears a close, we turn to the Aleinu on page 586. Would the congregation please rise?
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'teit gedula leotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, velo samanu kemishpechot adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
The Kaddish is found on page 598. Think of those who have died in recent days: Jack Snyder, Arnie Espin, Lester Adler, David Schwartz, Morton Gardner, Eleanor Capel, Julian Smolens, Michael Meyerhoff, Burton Slutsky, Sharon Bergman. Those whose yortzites are recalled: Gertrude Alexander, Donald E. Allen, Arthur Ann Holzer, Bertha Aronowitz, Sharon Bergman, Doobie Bernstein, Claire Frieda, Bernie, Nathan Block, Eric Bugloff, Sidney Chaskis, Leonard Cohen, Ruth Cohen, Samuel Bud Danto, Michael Draister, Michiko Dring, Irene Dvorak, Irene Dosch, Samuel Emmer, William Falvey, Ben Friedman, Martin Gersler, Julius Glasser, Felicia Gordon, Max Gordon, Rose Gross, Joseph Kahn, Charlotte Katz, Mabel Kompenich, Ann Kirschenbaum, Rose Levenberg, Dorothy Price, Enrique Ratinoff, Alex Ruiz, Harry Soul, Abigail Shaki, Kathy Shepard, Etta Sherman, Sheldon Silber, Rose Solowitz, Iris Stevens, Benjamin Stolberg, Sewell Sussler, Mel Walton, Harry Weinstein, Seymour Weissman, Harry Wellen. If you would like to recall the name of someone who was not mentioned, please stand and say their name.
Jerry Tarkanian.
As we think of all these and others who have touched our lives, we rise to recite Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabah, b'yalma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chaychom yomechom v'chayidachol beit Yisrael, Bagalav Izman Kariv Yimru Amen. Yeheshmei Rabba Mevorach Leolam Omei Omaya. Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitba'ar V'yitramam V'yitnaseh. V'yitadar V'yitalab V'yitalal Shmei Dekusha Barichu. Le'elam Min Kol Birchata V'shirata. Tush Bechata V'nechemata. Damiram B'yalma V'yimru Amen. Yeheshlama Rabba Min Shamai V'chaim. Leinu V'yal Kol Yisrael. V'yimru Amen. O say shalom b'mramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru. Amen. May be seated. I'd like to call upon our temple president, Jackie Rosen, and our sisterhood presidents, if you would come up as well.
Well, all I can say is, wow, what an evening. I mean, I just want, you can look at your brochure. I know it's been a long night. I want to thank everybody who's here tonight for the beautiful service, the beautiful words, and bringing all this spirituality right here to our Ner Tamid home. We are so lucky. I especially want to thank the search committee who helped me. Without their love, friendship, and support, we would not have been able to bring you here. And they really believed in you and in our faith of our congregation, and I thank them as well. I have one last note before I get on to my thank yous. The special Shabbats and the honors don't end here, because next week we have our very own Faye Schoenfeld. I'm not sure where Faye is. Faye, if you stand up, she's our congregant of the year, so we just have honor after honor, and I hope that you come and join us next week for Shabbat B'Yachad, where we honor Faye Schoenfeld, and stay, make your dinner reservations and stay for dinner and enjoy us there. You know, Cantor, this is such a special evening. This evening for me represents what being in Jewish in the synagogue is all about. Passing on our stories, our traditions, our love of Judaism, L'dor V'dor. This evening not only represents Cantor Hutchings' formal installation, but in a larger way, what we all hope for our children and grandchildren, that the seeds of Judaism are planted in their hearts and continue to grow and thrive and flourish throughout their lives. That they become cherished and respected members of the community. You are already that, my friend. That you give back. You are already doing that, my dear Cantor. We are so blessed to have you start as Jessica, as a bat mitzvah, and come back to us as Cantor Hutchings, with respect and love. It's an amazing accomplishment, and you're bringing your heart and your soul back here to your home makes it even more special. You are truly the essence of what the last 40 years of what congregation is all about, what we've been celebrating. This You bring it all together in one package. I'm so proud. So on behalf of the Board of Trustees and the entire congregation, I have this beautiful blessing in your favorite colors for your home or your office. I'm going to just, here, you can hold it up. There you go. Every day when you see it and you serve our congregation, let it remind you that we bestow and wish the same blessings on your home and for your family that you wish for us every single day and that you work so hard for. May we continue to grow from strength to strength and flourish together from our family to yours. Mazel tov, Cantor. Now, I don't get to be the last one tonight. Sisterhood gets to come after me. There you go.
Finally, we get the last word. Cantor, what a beautiful Shabbat. What a beautiful service. And I know we will all remember this night for a long time. We are honored and happy to have you as our cantor, but most important, we are happy and honored to have you as an honorary sisterhood member. So on behalf of Sisterhood, we would like to present you with the WRJ, which is the Women of Reform Judaism, which we are a sisterhood with over 500 sisterhoods around the world.
I have to say something. I stole that from Rabbi Axelrod's office, so I'll put it back now because I have my own.
Can we give you anything that you don't have already? Oh, well, good. Then you know what it's all about. Now you have your own. So we give it to you, and we have another.
We have one other gift, and I get to be the last word. And we, as Michelle said, you are an honorary member of our sisterhood and a very honored and valued member. And as a member of sisterhood, I would like to pronounce, woohoo! A sisterhood, yeah, a sisterhood t-shirt. She already has our schlep bag. So now she has a t-shirt to put it in. So glad to have you here. Thank you.
Wasn't there a song where you went?
I know we thanked our guests. And, thank you. But we have a silent person that we haven't, well, he's not silent, he's been playing, but another guest from Redondo Beach that came special to play. In addition to our wonderful Ricky, we had my friend Dan Spector on piano as well. In addition to our Shabbatones, who we love, and Ricky, who we love, we also have Dan, who is playing. So if you were wondering who the mysterious man in the glasses was, that's him.
He gets an extra. Oh boy. Our final song, your favorite song. Gesher students, front and center. Now. Gesher students, have a surprise which you know nothing about. Come on, a little lively. There you go. Where's Lonnie? Do you have to help them? Do they know what to do? Okay. You've heard the song. We'll let the kids sing, but once we get to the chorus, if you remember the words, please join along.
Sometimes I lay under the moon. I know someday it'll all turn around because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will say one day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. It's all about win or lose, 'cause we all lose when they feed on the souls of the innocent. Blood-drenched pavement, keep on moving through the water, stay raging. And in this maze you can lose your way, your way. It might drive you crazy, but don't let it phase you, no way, no way. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I'll never let it get me down. So creativity surrounds. I know someday it'll all turn around because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will play one day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. One day this all will change, treat people the same. Stop with the violence, down with the hate. One day we'll all be free and proud to be under the same sun, singing songs of freedom like oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. All of my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will play one day, one day, one day. Oh, one day, one day, one day.
Thank you very much. We invite the Cantor to please lead the way. The Ross family has been generous enough to share this weekend. They have a beautiful bat mitzvah tomorrow and have made you a special birthday cake awaiting all of us as part of the Oneg Shabbat. So Cantor, if you would, Shabbatons, lead us out with Oseh Shalom. The congregation will follow the Cantor.
Good job. There's so many buttons.